I was first introduced to Tank about 10 years ago. He was 8-0 at the time, and I'd been working with his advisor, a guy named Lauren Chvakin, who was also working with Seth Mitchell, remember the heavyweight at the time. So there was an event here in DC, and Lauren said, I need you to meet Tank Davis. And we had this conversation. I didn't know anything about him, but this 19-year-old kid, he was talking to me about his boxing background, but his background in general. You know, he does come from a rough neighborhood, and beyond that, came from a very rough place. His mom was a drug addict. He, I believe, was with his grandparents. He went to a new school. He was a short kid. He was more light-skinned than the other kids. He was forced to fight, or he maybe not forced to fight, but he got into a lot of fights, and that's what led to him being put into boxing. But a lot of what he's gone through has stuck with him. You know, that neighborhood that he grew up in, very violent neighborhood in inner city Baltimore. And he has been putting himself in some bad situations over the years since, even as his career has gone forward. He's got a history of legal trouble. He's got a history of domestic violence. He had an incident in Baltimore, a hit and run incident where he crashed into a car that had a pregnant woman and did a hit and run. So he's made some bad choices, as many of us have over the years. I don't know that he's taken full accountability for all of that, which we would like him to, but I also think it is very good of him to recognize that there are parts of him that he needs to work on. And the thing that really stood out to me was him saying, well, you know, I've got a daughter, he's got a newborn baby boy now as well, and he doesn't want to be falling into the same patterns that he's found himself falling into. And that's not necessarily to say he's getting violent, but just the anger that he feels will bubble up in him. And so he wants to work on that. And so when I see these conspiracy theories online where there are boxing fans who are saying, oh, well, Tank has been ducking all the great competition. He's facing this guy, Lamont Roach, that nobody really wants to see him fight. I'm guessing ticket sales aren't going well, and maybe this is a way for him to drive attention for this fight and his final 3 fights in 2025 so that people go to see him before he's gone. I don't think that that's the case. I don't know whether you have any thoughts on that as well, Darren.
No, I don't think it's as extreme as that. I don't think he is the sort of person who is purposely avoiding people in any way, because he's an animal when he gets into that ring. He really is.